have to bring my panel up for some reason before they go live to work. And here we go. Okay, folks, back again like we never left. I'm finding these days that I have to go into my panel and actually start the stream there before connecting, or get into that panel before connecting. Otherwise, I won't have an actual, and even now, something's weird. There we go. There we go. There comes the old stream. So I am just going to re-enter this whole situation here. Hopefully I'll be able to, oh, here we go, live now. There we go. All right, so in our last episode, we were working on this animation. This is the image sequence that I got out of DAZ. Probably took about an hour and a half to render. And I did want to share those render settings with you real quick. So image series, let's see, let me make sure you can see what I'm looking at right now. There we go. So yeah, if you'll note here in DAZ Studio, under the render settings tab, I've made an image series, put in the frames that I want to render. I am really not on the right thing. Not on the right thing at all. Sorry, guys. But anyway, yeah, here's my render settings, progressive renders, and I force render, enable render quality, and that gives us an option to make it 100 seconds long, and that's what looked pretty good to me in the preview. Now, one of the things I can see is I need to create a sky. And while I want the lighting on his face to be kind of a featured part of this render, I can also give a light from here from my HDR dome, which will make this look a little bit more viewable. And then I can go into the camera, turn off the headlamp on the camera, and I think this is going to work out pretty good. Yeah, so that's good. That's real subtle. And then by the time we get to here, you'll see that she's lit up pretty well where we can see what's going on. Yeah, so the idea was to have that, and the lovely blade pops out somewhere in here. Now this will take longer to render. So I'm going to allow myself a couple of hours where I don't have to really worry about let's see here. It's going to be a pretty short session, so I don't guess it matters so much that I'm not able to stream. Yeah, these are, I need to change these titles. That's the problem. Okay, it says live stream, but when I go into it, I'm not seeing the same. Maybe I am. Okay, yeah, I'm on the right stream. Sorry, guys. Just I had several in a row with the same name, so it was a little bit confusing. So yeah, you can see on the little preview render there that everything is working as it should. And so really the only thing left to do is decide on the sky. And that is kind of a big deal. Oh, this is nice. So I can kind of see that it's a steampunk environment behind it. By the way, this is a product from Stonemason called Steam what? Let's see. The Streets of Steampunk? Yeah. And there are some material settings that let me turn the lights on. And I'm going to try that right now and see how that looks. So it's lit up like a Christmas tree. Now, I considered the idea of turning on depth of field. I'm just going to see how this looks with lights. That's loading pretty slow. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I can show you guys what the render itself, the image sequence, the first pass at it, turned out like by just kind of showing you what I pulled into Premiere. And we'll just play this a couple times so you can enjoy it.
You devil, you would say anything but your prayers.
Shink. Shink. Gotta get a nice little sound effect for that. Shink. I might have to record that. By the way, this is Face Mojo that I've used to get the animation for the. And that's I use Blaster Online to get the female voice, you know. But anyway, so yeah, I realized that with the camera move, it was going to be tough to match up. I could do it. I started a little project in After Effects, but just decided I wanted to render it with more of a steampunk. Now this looks pretty good to me right here. I could add a depth of field, but I'm not going to, because it will speed oh, I do have a depth of field on. Interesting, interesting. So I have to decide if I think the depth of field is worth it. Let's turn it off right here. Okay, the depth of field does put a nice halo on that. I just don't know how long it's going to take to render. Let's try it. Compare one more time. I think this is pretty good, y'all. I'm going to pop back here to the beginning frame. I'm going to just watch the preview. I'm going to turn the headlamp back on and just watch the preview a few times in the main screen here of Dash Studio. Go ahead and close, save and close this because I'm about to perform a render that might take 2 or 3 hours. I'm well pleased with them. Even though the motion's not perfectly smooth, I could spend time, you know, doing that. But main thing I want to make sure of is the motion with the camera. Yeah. I think I can live with that. So we'll just one more time, just kind of make sure that the coloration and everything looks good. Render looks good. One test I probably should make is to make a one-off render using the settings that I have right here. Render quality enabled and 100 seconds. Just to make sure that's going to be good enough quality. Test run, and I made this a still image. I put it in the same folder. Turn that off there, and just going to go run the one single image. And if that image looks good to my eyes, then we're ready to let the render go. So, yeah. Animation. I really need to be writing up this product. I could probably get away with doing some writing for the description while this render is running, but I'm on a new fitness regime and diet program. I'm pretty exhausted right now, so I'm probably going to hit a quick 30-minute nap, do some guitar practice, and just let this kind of do its thing. Okay, it's still rendering. This might be more of an all-night render. I should have timed this. I think this might be a bigger render than I want to wait for, and so if I am able to start it when I get ready to head off to the gym about 6 this evening, I can let it render, you know, for 12 hours or so, and that would probably be nice. But I'm only doing one of these, and it's just a little extra promotion that I do for some products, and this is a product that I really hope does well because I have a lot of time in it, and little bells and whistles like this. And of course, I have some other shots in mind as well. So you don't see the little pop-up window, but in my dad's studio, I actually see the render. Okay, the render's finished now. So I'll just jump into Photoshop real quick and just examine that render. So yeah, that would probably render in about 4 hours. I'm just guessing, based on. So I put this in Dad's Films. Zombie Steam Jack. Here we go. You devil. Huh. Oh, I must have put it somewhere different. One thing is when you switch from image series, it goes back to the different location. So that, okay, now I know where I'm looking. So that put it in a different folder. Letter. Here we go. Okay, I want to share this with you guys by switching over to Photoshop. Okay. And there we have our render. So technically 100 seconds, but I think it was a little bit longer than that. That doesn't really matter. Just want to examine everything. And obviously this could look better, but I tell you what, just for a quick render, the shine on this looks pretty good to me. I think it's pretty compelling. Our expression is nice. The backdrop is perfect. The lights worked out great. And that is with depth of field left on, so I think I can get away with that. I'm going to save this, and I think I'm ready to let it rip. I'm going to let it go, and if it turns out to be like where it's taking up the whole day, I'll just stop it and resume. One thing I do want to do, let me go ahead and do this. Actually, you know what? It's easy enough just to make a new folder. So I'm going to go back to my render settings, go to image series, change this to You Devil with BG. Let's call this Your Prayers. So, little quick math here to figure out how long that would take. Let's just call that 2 minutes. 209 times 2 divided by 60 equals like 6.9 hours. That's going to take to render. I don't know about that. I'm going to save this work and probably switch back to making sure everything is ready to go. It's a good looking render though. And actually, this could make a nice looking promo. So I'm not going to save these changes. Let me go back to Dash Studio. I'm not going to save these changes. I'm just going to run off a promo with this exact scene right here at the end. And actually, it would be better if I did it where she had the blade up. Let's see. Kind of like that right there. Okay, so I'll just go in and change it to letter. Get a new camera. I don't want to mess with the one I got. Definitely do want those lights involved though. So again, because I'm not going to save this, I can go ahead and make some things the way I want them to render. There we go. And create new cam 2. Wants a little depth of field, of course. Want it to be right in the sweet spot here. Do not want there to be any light on it. Off. Number 2. Check it in the viewport and make sure everything's copacetic. Yeah, that's working pretty good. I don't know if this one makes the cut, but I like the way the other one looked at the end, so I think if I could, I would go and make her eyes a little bit more looking toward him. Side to side. That's an interesting angle. That's compelling. And another thing occurs to me. Oh, that's the wrong one. There's a top panel to do as well that I can turn back on, I think. Might be wrong about that. Yeah, there is. There's a morph, I believe, in one of those pose tools that will let me shift her head back. It's head, neck. There we go. Oh yeah, man, that's nice. That is nice, man. Let's check this out. She's got a little cheeky expression. I like it. I like this. And there's some stuff I can do on the coat here. Like, for example, there's a morph to bring the collar up or down, and I like it. So let's go see what's up. Collar up all. We want it down. That's the obvious choice there. All right. this is cool because it actually shows the alternate texture. I like it. I like it. I'm ready to render this. So we'll make it like 7K and put this in the promo folder. Wait a minute. 2 DAS, there we go. Raw. No prayers. And we are going to turn the headlamp off. Just double check that, but that still looks good. Yes. I'm going to force this to be a big render, meaning a long render, take a long time. So I'm going to hit this, guys, and let this render. When we come back again, you will see the result. I think that's going to make a pretty hot shit promo, pardon my French.